So patience has always been a challenge for me, and many of our
customers. Do you think that's because of ambition, or do you think that's because you wanted to seem successful in front of other people's eyes? If you really dug deep,
I think it's probably ambition. Like if I want things to happen faster, and it's hard for me to wait for them, you know. And we see a lot of that. A lot of our customers are young entrepreneurs, and they're really hungry to grow their business. And what is your advice to as far as patience and taking a long-term view?
I just don't know anything else. My advice is, if you love it, why would you want it to end? Like for me, business is my hobby.
Yeah.
So like when you go on a skiing trip, like don't you get sad when it's Sunday when you were looking forward to it and you got there Thursday and you skied all weekend? For me, that's business. This goes back to my point of people wanting things or wanting to seem successful instead of actually being about it. For me, patience is a piece of cake. It's the only thing I want to do. I wish everything slowed down. Now, to your point, I've had very fast successes in my career because I use self-awareness. I put myself in good positions. But in the macro, I'm patient, and it leads to a lot of mental health. When you're not anxious for success, you're happier. And that's where that content comes in.
And enjoying the process of what you do.
Love it. Like everybody wants to sell their business these days. I never want to sell my business.
Yeah, and you know, I'm with you there. I'm a big believer in passion, and having passion for what you do. I've never worked at a job or stayed at a job that I wasn't passionate about, and that kind of helps you weather the storms and stuff. I mean, look at this. I'm getting paid to interview you right now. How cool is that, you know?
And I also believe in EQ. You know, I reached out to my speaking bureau, Vayner Speakers, my company, my speaking team, after our speech the other day and said, hey, the Wi-Fi was not stable where I was. I couldn't get it there. Can you reach out to them? Maybe we can, and look what, you know, this is actually caring. That's what we're doing right now.
It was a perfect example. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about EQ today, because your Vayner Speakers team, you guys demonstrated exactly that. And it was awesome. And it does make a difference. So I know we're running short on time. I just had two quick questions in addition. So the past year and a half caused a lot of adversity, but some people and organizations fared better than others. So what has the pandemic taught us all about adaptability and resilience?
I think it was just, you know, I think it's something we've all known. People have talked about being prepared for, you know, it's the Mike Tyson thing. Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. I just think this was the first time for a lot of people that they had to go through it. You know? And to be honest, financially, unless you were a business that was incredibly affected by the rules of COVID, hairdresser, you know, bars, there was no question. A lot of people didn't feel the financial part because we just printed money. There's a lot of people, this was the greatest vacation of their careers.
Oh yeah, I definitely saw that.
People are currently staying at home on vacation because they're getting paid more in unemployment than to get a job.
Yeah, they're having trouble hiring people because of that.
That's right. So that's fine. I mean, I'm not overly worried about socialism, capitalism. Like, I think people get very religious about things they don't fully understand. To me, it's just one big game of the world will continue to have twists and turns. Are you in the mental capacity to deal with it?
My friends, you want to talk about something that has completely become something nobody talks about? Nobody talks about saving money. Like, it's just not a conversation. Like, there's a very easy way to do this. If you make $49,000 a year, live as if you're making 27. Everybody lives over what they make. No wonder you can't save money. Your apartment's too nice. Of course you can't save money. Your car is too fancy. Of course you can't save. You're buying clothes you can't afford. There are motherfuckers that complain to me. And this is where listen, if you're DMing me or emailing me, know that I don't fucking fool around. When you DM me and say, I can't, the first thing I do is go to your account. Don't let me hear that you're broke as fuck And the first fucking story I click on, you're drinking a $7 fucking coffee. If you're broke, you're not allowed to take Uber. Take the bus, dick. We need to start saving money to get Are you in a shit spot? Are you in debt? You don't like it? There's gonna be no fast track to $1 million that's gonna fix that. It's gonna be taking a step back and drinking a whole lot of humility, not a fucking French latte. I don't get it. People are always like, Gary, your story about you building your dad's business, that's not true. Like, you fucking, like, that can't be true. You had money to invest in Twitter and all that shit. I know your story. I'm like, okay, right. Because when I made $53,000 a year, I had a $2,000 a month apartment. Then I moved down to a $1,400 one because I wanted to save more money. And I bought nothing for a decade. I went out 0 times. I bought no clothes. I wore liquor t-shirts to fucking work. I fucking spent no money. Not super complicated. How many people here are immigrants or the children of immigrants? Raise your hands. Raise them high. How many people are the children of? Keep your hands up. And how many are the actual immigrants? Awesome. Immigrants have this shit figured out. Immigrants come here, they work, and they fucking save money. I went on 1.5 fucking vacations my entire childhood. We went to Orlando. We stayed in the fucking Holiday Inn, and my mom ate like 1 sandwich in the week. Immigrant shit. Immigrant shit. Everybody cries about immigrants. They don't spend money on dumb shit, motherfucker. Try it. Try it. Save money and then do your thing. It's about patience. Where everybody gets caught up, now they're somebody's sitting here, Sally's sitting here, she's 39. She's like, okay, this makes fucking sense. And then she's like, but fuck. And she's like, it's gonna take too long. And I'm like, Sally, you're 39. Do you want to be miserable as shit for the next 60 years? Or do you want to have some grinding years for the next 7 and be 46 and young as shit and start the process of actually being happy? People's complete inability to take 1 step backwards, to take 2 steps forward, is destroying people. Do you know how many people here own their home? Do you know how many of those people should sell it? I'm being serious. Do you know how many people have no liquid cash? Their home is their drain, and what they should do is sell the home and either buy a smaller one or rent to give themselves liquid to be able to go on the offense. But their home, which, oh, by the way, has 4 too many rooms. No, like, do you know few people have a home that actually fits their actual reality? People have homes with 4 extra rooms or live in a town that makes it look better for them. Man, there's so many fucking fucked up moves out here, my friends. I haven't even started.
My definition of success for me is to be able to do what I want to do at all times, always, and be happy about it. Having freedom is everything.
Has that changed over the years?
No, but I don't think I didn't realize what was going on in my youth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, I wasn't, it's hard for you to really know yourself completely at this point. You'll look back and realize it was all the same shit, but articulating it takes time within yourself and also just takes time of you actually executing on it. Back to like the sub-context of what we're talking about here, one of my biggest problems right now of like everybody who's trying to make positive impact is they're doing semantical work, not actual work, right? They're jockeying for their personal reputation by what they wear or what hashtag they use, not necessarily what they're actually doing. And if they actually ask themselves, once they actually embrace the fact that they're being selfish, then they can become selfless. When they're posturing to selflessness and disguising it, their true selfishness, they're losing, because that will play out. And that is the vulnerability of being over woke. That's the vulnerability. And the reason I like saying them out loud is because people aren't saying that part out loud, which then doesn't allow a lot of this good to actually be effective. And then it starts getting into delusion. There's so much I love about, making the world a better place, but it has to be practical. Like I would be thrilled if the government decides to wipe out all these college debts, but let me promise you what the reaction to that's gonna be. Even worse behavior. Watch what the 27-year-old does when you take $230 off her bill. Like, watch what she then does for the next 20 years. It's not gonna be as good as people think.